Okay, now listen up to all you Ford guys. I am notoriously not a Ford guy. I've had a lot of good Ford trucks, I'll say that. But doing this swap kind of makes me want to build one of these for myself. It's just a slick setup. Okay, back to the build here. We have 3/4 inch piece of wood between the oil pan, see that, and the cross member. The rear transmission mount is on the cross member back there. It needs scooted over this way about an inch, but that there is how it's going to set. So I really don't see any need to hack the oil pan up. You can get to the drain plug just fine. There it is. The oil filter is no problem. The exhaust is no problem. The clutch linkage, we'll have to figure that out as we go. Engine mounts, we know we're going to have to fabricate those. But all you have to do is go from there down to there. It's not rocket science. And because of its distance, we'll probably have to build a pretty good, structurally sound mount there. But there's nothing wrong with this swap here. I'll tell you, this is a sweet deal. I would probably go with a different engine. These things are torquey, but they're notoriously not happy when you rev them. And anyway, there's nothing wrong with the 360 and 390. All them FE motors are great, but I would rather have something I could rev a little harder. If this was a truck I was going to use to pull something with, that would be a great engine. Great choice. But and I gotta say, I like the stance. Like I said, that rear end's going to come up a little bit because it's got quite a bit of junk in the back. But that truck's going to have a pretty sweet stance. And I like the whole deal. It's just a good deal. A lot of these swaps or modifications people do, you think, well, that's cool, but you gave up this and you gave up that and ruined the car, truck. But this really didn't. I don't see any negative effects on this. And I kind of like the idea of the guy keeping the original FE engine type deal in it. The old manual transmission. That's not for everybody, and I don't know if I'd do that, but it is pretty cool. And that's what he wants. That's what he likes. So, good for him. But I can't tell you how cool I think this swap is. It's just it takes a great front end geometry, and rack and pinion and disc brakes. And them brakes are huge on these things. And put it on. That's where these trucks failed. Was they drove like crap and they stopped like crap, just like the Chevy and the Dodge. But I honestly believe the Ford was the worst. And the Ford steering column was made out of cardboard and paper towels and recycled sawdust or something. But we fixed that. So this is going to be a pretty cool old truck. So anyway, get off that. This is the engine test fit number 1, and it is pretty encouraging. The one thing I was worried about was the Z-bar linkage here. It goes from that ball on the engine to this. Let me move these brake lines. Anyway, it goes from that ball, and you have these 2 bolt holes here in the frame, which I made sure to leave that one and that one. There's a bracket that bolts here. That was out of alignment when I took this truck apart. Not a great deal, but it wasn't perfect either. So if we have to modify that to make it better, I'm okay with that. But anyway, you can see in there I've got a piece of cardboard duct taped over top of the transmission, and she slid right in there. So I'm sure eventually I'm going to run into something that's a problem here, but so far this has been a nice swap. You got to figure a few things out, but it's not bolt in, but at the same time it's a pretty neat swap. Just about anyone could do. with a little bit of tools and some time. So, and I did repaint these little covers that go over your cab mount boxes. They're just stuck on there for now because I don't have any cab bolts in it. I was thinking I might have to raise the cab up to get the transmission in, which was not the case. I got it propped up with a couple pieces of wood, and she slid right in there. But you know, without the nose on the truck, it makes it a great deal easier. So, and this is an old hose off a washing machine. See the red? That signifies hot. I just had to have something to drain the fuel out of it. It was sitting here leaking fuel, so as much welding and stuff was going to do, we had to get rid of the fuel. So anyway, anybody that thinks we're going to use this, you're not correct. We will replace that with a piece of regular fuel line. But like I said, I like how this is headed, the direction this is going, and anybody got any questions, put them in there in the comments, and if you can, like and subscribe, and hopefully here in a few weeks we'll take a ride in this thing and give it back to its owner. I know he's looking forward to it, and you know, I talked to him about this yesterday. This is not a restoration. This is not a race truck. He's going to use this truck for what it was designed for. He's going to drive it, and people miss that a lot. I've been around old cars and people like that for decades, and you'd be surprised the ones that don't get it. You know, all they think about is racing it or restoring it, and then it sets and doesn't get used. You know, this old truck is not mint, but it's not junk. It's not a race truck, but it's you know, it'll be fun to drive. That big engine, that light body, you know, it's with a standard transmission. You could probably light the tires up anytime you want to. But you know, he's gonna have a lot of fun with this truck and probably get a good bit of use out of it. So anyway, enough ranting, and we're gonna pitter patter here and get at her. So thanks for watching.